you don't care that this woman is lifted up and set free. And then Jesus reminds them, in the midst of the story, Jesus says, she's a daughter of Abraham. She's one of you. She's one of those who stands in the promises. She's come to remember the promises that God has made to us. I wish that somehow each of us who came this day came standing on the promises, standing and knowing that even though you might have come into this place this day bent over, somehow the world might have told you that somehow the hope is not yours. Somebody might have told you that somehow you have no value, you have no place there, you have no significance. But I hope that somehow the day that you hear Jesus speaking to you, that you are an heir to the promises. We don't have to spend another day in bondage. Whether the bondage is to your past, whether the bondage is to your insufficiency, whether the bondage is in the things that the world says that you are inadequate about, the day the Lord is saying to you, you can straighten up. But he's saying to us as a church, we've got to be instruments. That rather than answering the emails and the text messages to Satan, we need to be text messaging words of encouragement to those who we know that are in our community that are struggling. It says in the end of the story that those who were the opponents, and Brad, I tell you, when I read that this week, in particular on Monday, I had to realize that I know that there are some people who are just against you. And ain't nothing you can do that can convince the folk who are against you to be with you. You won't happen. Might as well forget it. And sometimes in the church, those of us who are pastors and those who are leaders, we spend too much time dealing with the negativity of folk who ain't gonna change. Right. Satan done got hold to them, and Satan gonna keep using them. And as long as we focus on them and the negativity, then we'll get stuck just like they were stuck. But it says, but that the crowd, the folk on the margins, the folk sitting behind the leaders, the folk who came like the woman for 18 years, faithful in coming to the synagogue, faithful in believing that the promises of God will take place. Oh, somehow, Satan will tell you in a minute, if you don't get it today, ain't no use in you coming back. For 18 years, she dealt with it because she knew that the promises of God would one day deliver her. And it said, and the crowd was amazed. We're in the sermon. I gotta tell you this. We're worried about how we're going to get some more people in this place. many of us are listening to Satan tell us that we got to have the right programs to be able to attract folks. This story tells me that if we want to attract folks, we've got to start celebrating Sabbath. That this is a place where we come and we celebrate love, where we celebrate that God still claims us even after we have messed up all of our week. This is the place where we come. I like the lady, because when the lady, it says that when the lady got straightened up, when she knew that she belonged to God, when she knew that her condition had been changed and she didn't have to deal with it anymore, it says that the lady got to shouting. You know, if you want to start attracting some people in here, we need to start shouting about what God has done for us. I got to share this one last thing. I was going to finish it up. I was going to stop, but I got to tell this story because it just shows how God works sometimes. And sometimes God works in these mysterious ways and makes some things happen sometimes. But you know, you just got to realize that, you know, last week, Sonnye caught hell from her teammates. They ostracized her. They put her on the margin. Now, I can't help but think, because I'm old and I'm still this way and I still process some stuff through this way, but I could not help but think that one of the reasons they pushed her aside is that, you know, we got this young black woman now we got a young black principal. And so, oh, they're going to be over there, so we just going to push her aside. Her co-workers, 3 white ladies, decided to push her aside. They decided they're going to order pizza on Friday and don't invite her to say we're going to have some pizza. They're going to have a little party, and they decided we ain't going to invite her to the party. They're going to push her to the side. They go and say, look, we got our lesson plan. She ain't got no lesson plan because she don't want to work with us. They try to team up on her and try to team and push her on the side. They tried to, in essence, marginalize her. They tried to bend her over, and so she, in fact, was bent over. Got so bent over that she got sick. Remember I told you earlier, sometimes the affliction leads to the illness, and sometimes in this case, because of the treatment and the marginalization, it broke her system down. She became vulnerable to all of the germs that them little nasty children bring in. She got all the germs, and she stayed home all weekend working on her lesson plan so that she could go in, rushing on her way to school, trying to hurry up and get to school to say, look, I got my lesson plan. I want you to know I want to be a part of the team. I want to work on the team. Rushing to school so fast, rides off in the ditch, tears up her car. Oh yeah, Satan is waiting on her. Satan is saying, see there, you trying to do all this stuff. I'm going to take advantage of it. Tell her to call. Then finds out she gets a call from the insurance company. Got her teeth, wisdom teeth removed. A few weeks ago, the insurance company said, oh, we going to deny your claim. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Satan got her really going now. Really wondering what the heck's going on. Keeps on going. Keeps piling stuff on her left and right. The insurance company said, we got to tow your car out. Oh, Lord have mercy. Checks her credit report, find out that somebody done put some stuff on her credit report, ain't even her credit report. Satan is working. Satan said, I got her now. When's it? Time to come to Bible study. Oh, you can't go to Bible study. You ain't got a car, too far to walk. Can't ride with your daddy. Your daddy ain't got no room in his car. Or Satan is working on her. But the Lord was working. See, while they were in the midst of doing all that, the Lord had run the count on the school that day. And when they ran the count on the school that day, they said, all right, now you don't have enough students to have as many teachers. You got to lose a teacher. We got to move somebody out the way. And guess who gets moved out of the way? One of the praying people who were trying to set up her to fail. One of the persons of whom Satan had got into and said, we're going to marginalize and push her out of the way. Satan now moves her out of the way. If that ain't a reason to come on Sunday and to give a reason to shout and to give praise, and even in the midst of our difficulty, God's working things out for us. Even in the midst of our pain and our suffering, God's opening up doors for us. That's a reason for us on a Sunday for us to come and to give thanks to God, who promises to never leave us alone. God, who promises to carry us through the storm. That's why I come. Yes, that's it. On Sundays. I want to give thanks and to see the evidence. Yes. What God is still doing in our lives. Yes. That's why I celebrate the Sabbath. Amen. Amen.